morning, y'all, and welcome to Sweet Pea's Southern Home. Welcome back. Today we're going to do a garden tour and plant a few watermelon starts that I bought. I've been working on some flower beds at my mom's house, and I got a little bit of footage, but not enough for a video. So next time I'm back over there, I'll show everything that I got. And I was there yesterday, and her Peggy Martin rose is in full bloom, and I wish I had gotten some shots of it, but maybe it'll still be blooming next time I'm over there. Anyway, I'm just rambling. I'm going to show you, I took her to a local nursery yesterday, and we bought her some flowers and stuff, and of course I had to buy myself some stuff too. I didn't need anything, but I sure bought it. And so I'm going to show you what I bought real quick, and then I'm going to take you on a tour of how the garden's doing. We're going to harvest a few potatoes. I've already harvested some of them. I harvested two 30-gallon grow bags and one 10-gallon, and I've gotten about 20 pounds of potatoes. We've eaten a few of them. So, last year I planted half a row in an in-ground garden, and not one of them came up. So I'm going to count it as a success this year, no matter what else I get. So, anyway, I have 4 or 5 more 10-gallon grow bags to harvest, and we're going to harvest one of those today during the video. So I'm going to turn you around, and I'll show you what I got from the nursery yesterday, and we're going to tour the front yard, the front of the house gardens first, and then we'll go back around back to the vegetable garden. Okay, while I'm standing right here by this, I just thought I'd show it. This belonged, I guess, it's been around in my life as long as I can remember, and my mom used to have a plant in it, and I found it in her backyard yesterday, and I said, "Oh, can I take that?" And she said, "Yeah." It is just an old tea kettle, and I think it belonged to my great-great-grandmother. I know Mom told me a story yesterday that her aunt, when she found out that she was using it as a planter, and there's no hole in the bottom of it, but it is pretty dented up and not in the best shape. I mean, I certainly wouldn't make tea with it. Anyway, when her aunt found out that she was using it as a planter, she had a fit. She got really mad. That's neither here nor there, just a silly story. But I love it. We're going to get a little bracket to hang it from right here, and I'm going to put something in it. I don't know what yet. I have some hanging baskets on my porch rails, and so I'll show you those real quick. I don't know if I've showed these or not yet. These are some impatiens. They do pretty good in the sun. I mean, my house faces east, so it will be sunny over here till early afternoon, lunchtime-ish, and then they'll be in the shade, so hopefully they'll make it through the summer. But already we had a severe drought last year, and it probably hasn't rained anything worth mentioning here in 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So I hope that's not a sign of how things are going to be for the rest of the growing season, but they're doing pretty good. So this one has these impatiens in it, and we'll walk over to the next one. These are some of the things I bought yesterday. I'll show you. I have no clue what these little yellow flowers are. I had hoped that they would, they're small little plants. You can see the size of my hand. They just keep blooming, and they're really cute, but they're not filling out. You know, I kind of hoped that they might fill out some, at least get bigger, and they're not doing that, but it's okay. I'm gonna enjoy them. It said they were for the sun, and it was definitely an impulse buy when I got those, so we'll see. And then I'll walk down. I have one more. There's my gourd from last year that I need to do something with. And I have these. This is, I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'll just hold it up for the camera. Anyway, it's called Blew My Mind. I've seen this before many times at local nurseries, and it does really well, and it kind of hangs over, so keeps blooming. And I love the little blue flowers, so that's doing real good. And while I'm right here, I'll show you. I planted some mint seeds in both of these. This is the absolute worst dirt I have ever seen in my life. It was a bag of potting soil, and I don't know if you can tell. That is mostly sand and wood chips. I was so aggravated. I mean, look. Can you tell how much sand? See it in the sun? It's so sandy. Nothing wants to grow in it. I'm going to have to dump it and put something else in it. To be honest with you, I put just regular old mint seeds in both of these, and I can't believe anything's growing in this one, to be honest with you. But it is. So that's just mint. And before I get off the porch, let me show you what I bought. This is a black currant mint. I think probably this is what I'm going to put in that old kettle, because I know that mint will spread really bad. It was $1. I couldn't pass it up. And I bought some things that didn't, I either didn't have seeds for to plant for my medicinal herb garden, or some things that didn't germinate for me. So this is a lemon verbena. I need to get that in one of my front flower beds, which I'll show you in a minute. This is what is this? Bee balm. I have planted bee balm all in my big garden, and so far none of it has come up, so I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I bought a small one to plant back there. This is just another zinnia because I don't have one this color, and I'm getting the shade. Maybe you can, there you go. I didn't have one this color, and I couldn't pass it up, so that's what that is. This is, what is this? Oh, this is a purple cone flower. I planted a couple of different varieties of echinacea, and also none of those have come up. And it's just getting to be such a hot time of the year that I don't know if I will try to plant anymore this year. So I went ahead and bought an established plant since I saw it at the nursery. But I definitely want to get some of my seeds growing because they were some really pretty varieties. And this is Peachy Keen. It's a kind of hyssop, and I didn't know until I started really doing some research that there anise hyssop, and then there's regular hyssop, I think. I have to do some more research on this and see. I know it's good. It's a medicinal herb, and I think you can, it's in the mint family, I think. Please correct me if you know that I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's in the mint family. Anyway, I just thought it was super pretty. I don't know if it's already bloomed and this is after the blooms, or if it hasn't bloomed yet, but it's a pretty big one. I'm gonna have to get, they didn't have a smaller one, so you can see how big it is. I'm gonna have to get it its own pot, and so at some point I'll have to get a pot for that one. All right, so I'm gonna take you down off the porch, and we'll go see the other flower beds. Okay, this pot is full of just a mix of zinnias. You can see one of them is starting to bloom. I apologize for the glare. It is an extremely sunny day, and it's probably 85 degrees out here already at 11 o'clock. It's pretty hot today. These are some more zinnias. And then these are some dahlia mix that I started from seed. And they're coming along really well, so I can't wait to see what color they are when they bloom. And then along the front of my porch, I have these 3 beds, and I never did, when I planted them out, I showed you the seeds that I planted in a previous video, and we got some of them started in the little seed starting packs, and then I never did. The day that I planted them, I didn't get to video, so it was kind of trying to beat the rain. And I also did not label these, so these are a mixture of herbs and flowers. Some of them I know what they are. Let me see if I can get in the shade. This is lemon thyme. I didn't think that I put cilantro in here, but I'm not sure what this is. These are, I believe that's a cosmos. Those are some more zinnias. Along the back, I planted some miniature, oh gosh, I see something's been eating on one of them. I planted some miniature sunflowers. I know that toothache plant was one of the plants I planted. To be honest with you, I don't know what all this is. We'll know when it starts coming up the rest of the way. I know I planted oregano. I planted some regular thyme. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my video. It needs to be watered. But anyway, try to give you an overview. It looks like everything's coming up pretty good in here, and I have a little bit of space, so I think I'm gonna put that verbena right here, and maybe that other zinnia that I just bought. And then over here in this bed, I do know what these are. These are my Floret Farm seeds. So all of these, I planted the zinnias in the front, and I planted them sparingly because I wanted everything to come up. And then all these along the back are the celosia. And it looks like pretty much all of them came up. So I'll come back in a couple of weeks. Look at this. I put cardboard at the bottom of this and still get dollar weed coming up through it. Probably in a couple of weeks, I'll come back and do a second planting and fill in these spots that are empty. I knew I would have some empty spots, but I didn't want to crowd everything too much. So that's what's in that bed. This bed will just be flowers. And then this bed over here, we have more zinnias here, more something. Why can't I think of what that is? I don't know. There's sage here, basil, this, and this over here, or another smaller sunflower. There's oregano in here. There's a big rosemary. I'm just drawing a blank. I don't know. I just said what these were, and now I can't think of it. Oh well. Welcome to getting old. You can't remember things anymore. So that's this bed, and I'm just looking forward to seeing them all filled out and looking pretty, and I'll have a mixture of herbs and flowers. And I'm gonna walk you out to the flagpole, and we'll take a look at what's out there. It's a bunch of petunias, and they're doing really well. Ooh, sweating. When I get some of that, my mom's Peggy Martin rose done, I might put it up here and let it climb around this. This is part of an old wagon wheel. So here are all my petunias. I need to come out and deadhead them. I try to do it a couple of times a week so they'll stay bushy. But I just bought a whole flat that was like a mix. Wasn't really sure what colors I was getting. And they all look really good together, and they're growing really great. So that's it for the front yard. I'll walk over to the side on the way to the back and show you in the old garden what I have going on. The plan is for this to be, hang on, I'll stop and show you. I didn't plant anything in the middle. I just, along this edge and along our property line edge, I planted sunflower seeds that I saved from my giant sunflowers last year. And I have come out here a couple of times and watered some, but I don't have, that was my old hookup for water for, this was the garden last year, but I don't have a hose over here. And so they've just been kind of left on their own, and I don't know, I came back and planted more seeds, and I don't really know what's coming up, if any. But we're supposed to get rain. We were supposed to get a lot of rain last weekend, and it didn't happen. But again, today's Friday. Monday is supposed to rain pretty heavy. I really hope that it does, because my plants need it. Oh, look, there's a little something, a moth or a butterfly. Let me see if I can. And there's another one. No. So these sunflowers along here that are popping up are ones that I had planted the first go around. But over here on this on our property line side, they're really starting to get big, and you can really see them. So my idea was to hopefully just have a ton of giant sunflowers over here, just for no reason except that they're pretty and I love them. So you can kind of see them all coming up. And like I said, hopefully after the rain, I literally was just dumping out handfuls of seeds because I didn't know what was viable, and I had intentions of separating some of these out, but I never did do it. So we're just gonna let it go. It's just gonna do its thing. We'll see how they all go, because I know a bunch of these are all bunched together, but we're just gonna let them go and see what happens. All right, let me walk you to the back garden. All right, I'm gonna back up just a little bit. I'm standing in the middle of my corn. I don't know if you can tell, it's a little above my waist. So the corn is doing really good. And hopefully, I need to look and see how tall this variety gets, but the on again, off again rain doesn't seem to have bothered it much. I have only watered this once, and I will show you if I can find it. I do have some sunflowers planted in here. Let's see. Here's one right here. So I think I counted 10 or 12 sunflowers that'll be popping up in here too. But corn's doing good. So this is the corn patch, and we'll move on to the big garden. Okay, here's my garlic bed. This is the remains of one of our raised beds, and to be honest, I have watered this a lot. It's looking pretty pitiful, and I don't really care. I'm not that bothered by it. This was an experiment, growing this year, and we're gonna move this bed. We're gonna take it down after I harvest this garlic. So if I do garlic again, it'll be in the big garden, and we'll just see what I get. This dirt is a combination of just regular soil from around the property, and then it had about 4 inches of a good topsoil and manure mix on top of it, and it still has just never grown well. I had 2 of these beds last year along with that in-ground bed on the side, and neither one of them ever did very well. I just didn't get much out of them, so I'm not sad to see them go, and they're kind of in the way. And while I'm standing here talking to you, I see right here, do you see this? This is sawbriar. It's the devil. You can't get it. It doesn't do me any good to pick the leaves off of it because if in 2 days it'll be twice as big as it was. The roots are extremely long and they go, it's no telling where that root starts at. You'll never get rid of it. I've tried everything. So that's this bed, and the last part we have are the potato bags in the big garden. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. All the girls are up, except I think we have one in a box. These were I know some of these are straw flowers. That's some kind of daisy that has never bloomed yet. I don't know. They're really for cooler temperatures, but I have them here and they get shade at least like 80% of the day, so I'm kind of hoping something will happen. We shall see. This is the first bed the first grow bag that I dug up, and I didn't do very well in this grow bag. I should have let it go a couple more weeks. I think I might have done better, but I had Yukon Golds in there. In total, I only planted four small potatoes in there. In total, I probably got 15. So, I mean, it's better than nothing, but it wasn't great. And then this is a dahlia tuber that I got from Lowe's. And it's just getting huge. And there were 2 of them. And I didn't think about it when I planted them that maybe I put them too close together. But hopefully this one will catch up. And then this is my mullein. I put it back here because I know it's going to get big. But it will take it more than one season to grow out. So we'll see how that comes along. Trying not to swing you too fast. And now we'll go in the big garden. I have to say, so far, the deer fence is working. Knock on wood. You can see the pole barn over there. We're still concreting in the post. We haven't gotten much done on that. So here, this whole row is pepper plants, and they all seem to be doing good. And I have I'm just having a time of it today. Words are hard. What is this? It's a marigold. I knew that. Ouch. That's a marigold, and that is a mammoth basil right here. So these first peppers were the ones that I planted that were I bought at the nursery, and then I'll go down and show you the ones that I started from seed. This is a sunflower Steve. Sunflower right there that's doing good. And then everything along here, these are Tigger melons on this end, these first 4, and the rest of these are all cucumbers. I did have very poor germination, and I believe it was just because underneath this landscape fabric we have walked a lot. It was just compacted too much, and when I planted them I didn't get very good germination, so I came back with some potting soil and filled in the holes a little bit and planted more seeds, and now they've all popped up. So everything along here are different cucumber varieties. And then these last 2 or 3, I think the last 3, those are little Mexican gherkins, cucamelons. And so everything's coming up good. These are in these 5-gallon containers, are not going to live here always, but for now they're here. Those are my cherry tomatoes, and they were in the pig pen with before we got pickles, so I had to move them out of there. But I'm going to show you in a minute. I probably didn't really have to move them because I have a volunteer in there and she hasn't touched it. But anyway, on this side, these first 4 are cucuzzas. It's a big Italian squash. And then I have a couple different, this is, I think, oh no. See these little worms? They have been everywhere. They're all over my peas. They're about to eat my peas up. These are a butternut squash. These few are Kajari melons. This I have marked as mystery, but I know what these two are right here. They're more cucumbers. I came back and planted them. I don't know why I have these spots. I have to come out later today and fertilize. And then these are honey nut squash right here. And then that is another sunflower that's struggling along. But I think that's a sunflower too that I don't remember planting there. So I don't know what happened with that. But I'll leave it and we'll see. So I'll try to take you down one side and let's walk over here. We'll take a look at the rest of the peppers. So all of these peppers are still the ones that I purchased, and everything looks really good except for these 3 are really struggling, and I have treated them, I have fertilized them, and I do not know. I've pulled the diseased leaves off, and I don't know what's wrong with them. These are my Tam jalapenos, so they're the not spicy jalapenos. They're the mild ones. Another one. I just smush them. I have had aphid problems with these, but they've been sprayed and they seem to be under control. Yet I'm still having trouble with mainly just these peppers. This particular variety, so I don't know if it's just really not disease resistant or whatever, but they're limping along and hopefully they'll make it. And all these are just different, some hot and some not. And then here's my Abe Lincoln tomato that I accidentally planted over here because I thought it was a pepper. Look how big it's gotten. I just stuck this tomato cage here because I didn't have anything else for it, and I know I'll have to do some other kind of support for it or get a bigger cage. But it's doing wonderful. So I had planted more marigolds here that never came up, and this is holy basil that's trying to come up again with these worms. Oh my goodness. And then from here on down, these are pepper plants that I started. So all of these peppers were ones that I started from seed. This was my first year doing that. These 2 empty spots right here, I think I had planted some kind of herb and it didn't come up. This, I'm pretty sure, is marjoram. And maybe this too. It's trying to come up, but it's pretty dry. I need to water this evening. And these are the rest of the peppers that I started from seed all the way down to right here. This was a ground cherry that didn't make it, but I had 3 that did. And then I have 4 empty spots down there that I'm gonna plant some little lunchbox peppers. So now and then on the back side of these beans, what you see coming up are marigolds. What I did was plant marigold basil all along here, and I think only the marigolds are coming up, so I'll have to try again with the basil. It was mainly for help with the bugs, not necessarily to eat. I mean, I will eat it, but I don't need that much basil, but I'm gonna try to plant it again. Oh no. This poor peach tree. It was like 4 times as big as this. Something's eating it. I bet it's those little worms. Oh, that one just fell off. It's trying to grow. Well, it's okay. If I have to start over, I have to start over. I don't really know. If any of you know anything, oh, there's a spider on it. If any of you know anything about peach trees and pruning, I just left this all on here. It's dead. It's not going to grow. But I just left it for now to see what would happen. I figured for this one season it wouldn't hurt. But I'm going to have to get out here and try fertilizing it some more. And then that is another sunflower. So I'll step across here. This, I was digging around in here yesterday. I'm going to show it to you because it hasn't come up yet and I need to. This is a sunflower seed. It's for, I think, the biggest sunflower. Have never seen sunflower seeds this big before, but it's not doing anything. And it's really, if you dig down a little bit, it's not that dry. I'm going to have to come stick some potting soil and some fertilizer on top of that and water it in good and see if I can get it to sprout. This is it's supposed to be an eggplant, but it surely doesn't look like one. It looks like a weed. Eggplant's not our favorite, so I won't be heartbroken if it doesn't come up. But these 3 are eggplants. You can see one coming up here. And that's a sunflower. Let me show you. My hand's falling asleep. This side of the row, these are all my pole beans. I don't know if you can tell. Some of them are trying to come up. I think if we could get a couple of days of good rain, I'll get a little more germination out of these. But yeah, if I have to go back in and replant some, that's no big deal. I do have quite a few growing. I have at least a few of each variety that I planted, so I'm happy with that. And on this side, these are all summer squash, zucchinis. You can see the one right here didn't come up. These are all different varieties of zucchini and yellow squash. This variety, I believe, is supposed to have this variegated leaf, but they do need to be watered. So these are all zucchini and yellow squash. They're coming along. And then this end of my pole beans seem to be doing much better. Then I'm missing a whole section there that didn't come up, and then at the end it's just really sporadic. But we'll do something about that another day. And then we're back to where the cucumbers and we're back to my archway. This is turning out to be a long-winded video. And these are my tomatoes. These are all of these. Some of them are heirlooms, some of them aren't. I'm gonna walk down in between my bush bean rows. These are bush beans, and I had the same issue with the bush beans that I did with the pole beans. Some of them came up really well. You can kind of tell looking down the row. Some of them had great germination. Some of them didn't. I'm pretty disappointed with that because normally I don't have this much trouble with beans. But my tomatoes are doing amazing. I came back out here last weekend and I trimmed up everything that was touching the ground, and every single one of these tomato plants I started from seed. So I did not buy any starts this year, so I have to say I'm super proud of that. And they go all the way to the end of the row. But I have a question if any of you are gardeners. This is Thai soldier beans. Not one of them, not one single one came up. And then this is a soybean, Midori Giant for edamame. Again, not one single one has come up. And I planted those soybeans last year too. I soaked them, and the same problem. Not one came up. These are dragon tongue, and I have three out of a whole. I probably planted 10 plants right here, and only 3 came up. So it's pretty disappointing. I don't know. I'm just disappointed about it. I planted chamomile right here, and it looks like it's trying to come up. And then this is some more sunflowers that didn't come up. So I don't know. The soil was amended, and I mean, my tomatoes did really well. My peppers are doing really well in the same soil, but I'm having trouble with other things. So half of this row is empty, this whole half that's right in front of me. And then this whole row right here is empty all the way to the end. This will all be okra. I'll probably wait another 2 or 3 weeks to plant my okra because the ground has to really be warm for that. It really likes the heat. And then this that comes out to the end of the bed is going to be all pumpkin. Sorry, my phone was just ringing. It's going to be all pumpkins and winter squash. And when I plant the okra out, I'll plant that. And when the corn gets done over there in the corn beds, I will probably put some more winter squash over there because I should still have plenty of time to get a harvest off of that late in the, well, our growing season's pretty much all year, but late in the summer season. So down here on this end, I planted some melons, a Crenshaw, Sugar Baby, and Charleston Gray. And it's pretty weedy, but I don't see any coming up. That's why I bought those starts yesterday. Here's something. Maybe that's a melon. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna leave them alone and see if anything does come up. But I planted the seeds in groups of 3, and I left, tried to leave plenty of space. But I think I said in another video, I've never had good luck with that before, with melons. And then here are my peas. It's getting pretty hot for peas, so I haven't really worried too much about those little worms on them, but they've been covered with those little worms. They're eating all my peas, but I come out here all the time and just pick peas off there and eat them myself. This was the grow bag that I got probably at least 10 or 12 pounds of potatoes out of. I just dug that yesterday. And then this is a mystery that was just something that was in this bucket. And so far, it's only produced male flowers. I'm sure it's some type of zucchini, but it's only produced male flowers. I'm gonna come out here and hand pollinate it when I start seeing some female flowers. But it's just kind of growing a little crazy right now. I haven't done anything to it. I haven't fertilized it, nothing. I mean, I've watered it, but I've just been letting it go. Look, you see that right there? Can you see that? That's army worms that do that. I'm gonna have to come out here with some BT spray and spray it if I want it to make it. This is my cilantro, and it's about to start bolting. I found a variety, a slow bolt variety, that I'm gonna try planting, so I'm just letting this go. I'll probably just give it to the pig. I don't know. If I had some stuff, if I have a need for it, I'll try to come get it before it bolts all the way. And this is my dill. I was really hoping for my dill to flower so I could get some seeds off of it, but again, you can see it's kind of laid over. It's getting pretty hot. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Come here. You don't belong in there. I can't get it. I smushed it. These right here. Eating my flowers. My plants. Every time I look, I find more. That's my deal. And then over here, let me see if I can get to it without stepping on anything. This is that's another volunteer that's not doing so great, in a different kind of pea right there. That's still hanging on. It's not yellowing up as bad as my other ones. And then there's Pickles. Now she has a pool with water, but she's over there in the shade right now. In another hour, this whole thing, she'll have much more shade than what she's got now. And I think I'm gonna call it quits here. This has turned out to be a lot longer video than I meant for it to be. But these are the rest of the potatoes that I'm gonna harvest before it rains. I'll record that and I'll put it in the next video. So let me turn you around and we'll do a recap real quick. Okay, so I know that was pretty long-winded, but I thought it's been a while since I did a big garden update. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you're having a really blessed day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.